Okay, so the other rover on the planet is Curiosity. It does not have the problem of dirty solar panels or sunlight being turned off. It's nuclear powered, and it's going great guns. It's 2,306 days since landing. It landed back in August of 2012. And this is the map of its drive since landing. So it's been tooling along here. There's a huge mountain down in this area called Mount Sharp that is filled with, or built out of layered sedimentary rocks. And so the goal for this mission is to slowly get to that mountain, start moving up the slope, and along the way, they study the land leading up to the foothills and try to determine what the conditions were like when these rocks were formed. And for about the last year, Opportunity has been on this ridge. And this was a very exciting location. It's got the signature of hematite, an iron sulfide material that can be related to water being laid down underwater. And so they've been doing lots of moving back and forth and sampling that. And if your eyes are really good, so here's the ridge. It's called Vera Rubin Ridge. And here's where they came up, sort of a ramp up onto the top of the ridge, and they've been sort of looping around up here. And now, just in the last couple days, they're at the edge of the ridge, and they're ready to, in fact, they already have moved down onto this valley that's between the foothills and this ridge. And I think there's one more closer up view that maybe you'll be able to see the traverse a little better. But what's exciting about this valley now is the spectral signature from orbit says that all of this material is made out of clay. And that's another exciting geologic landscape. Clay is formed when you expose rocks to water, and it sort of decays the rocks and makes them much softer and changes the mineralogy of the rocks. And so here's that ridge that they had been on. It sort of comes around this way. This is the very last vestige of that hematite material. And as you can see, going out into this valley, it's, you don't see a whole lot of bedrock outcrops. It seems to be a very much softer looking landscape, as you can see here. And so that's likely going to be the next year or so, is traversing through this clay area and doing the analysis on all the minerals and the lay of the land. And so this was just 4 days ago, right before they were ready to leave. They collected samples of the bedrock here. And now, yesterday, you can see that they've moved on to this much finer textured surface. And that's actually going to be good news, because we've talked about this a number of times. The aluminum wheels on board are getting really chewed up by driving across the sharp, hard rocks that they have been finding. And you can see there's a break in the wheel, there's another one, there's a crack here, another hole here. And so it'll be much easier for them to, preserve the function of the wheels if they're driving over this smooth stuff for the near term. And they want to preserve these wheels as much as possible for when they actually do reach the foothills. It's expected that that's going to be much rougher surface to be driving across. All right, so this is the recap on Curiosity. Again, it's day 2306. They've driven about 20 kilometers so far and returned nearly 550,000 images over the course of those 6-7 years.